A very good morning to everyone. Welcome back to the Idea Morning Digest. I know you're not seeing my face this morning for the first time. Yes, I was here for newspaper review, Cynthia. And well, I told you that we will be having the Idea Morning Digest, which we now have. And it's such a pleasure to, be on this ship with Cynthia. We have to say ship. we have two captains, and we'll be selling this today, talking about all that's happening in Nigeria and beyond. We'll be looking at news such as the U.S. lawmakers and Nigerian Reps hold fresh sessions over rising insecurity.
And Yuletide local flights break 300,000 naira mark.
Okay, and we'll also be seeing Manpower shortfall may delay NSCDC's VIP protection rollout.
Okay, and lastly, drug trafficking, Nigerian compliance or accomplice jailed 37 years in South Africa.
We'll be talking about that and more on the discussion segment this morning. Well, my name is Chinatu Oji and I'm with
Cynthia Pasi.
We'll go on this break and do well to follow us across the social media to get the conversation buzzing. Let's go on this break. When we return, we'll get into the gist proper.
Nothing is easy. Nothing is free. If you want to be successful, you have to pay the price. Nothing is free. Nothing is easy. Easy means you have to think different. You have to do different. For example, early days in my company, when some ideas come to my desk, Jack, this is a great idea, and I look at everybody. Everybody say it is a good idea, I normally throw into the rubbish. Because everybody say it is good, then all the other people think of. If everybody say this is going to be very tough, I'm very interested in that tough question. And I pick up and say, how can we do in a different way? This is to be unique, to be different.
In the past, gas stations had an awkward problem. Customers had no idea when their tank was full, often causing gasoline to spill everywhere. Engineers came up with a clever solution. They invented a fuel nozzle that could automatically stop using a very simple principle. When a fuel truck refills an underground tank, a valve automatically shuts off as the tank nears full, and the gasoline vapors are drawn back into the truck through another hose, condensing back into liquid fuel. When customers fill their cars, the gasoline first passes through multiple pipes and filters before reaching the nozzle. Modern fuel nozzles are like tiny technological marvels. Inside, there's a thin tube that draws air from the car's tank into a membrane chamber. When you pull the trigger, fuel flows until the tube is submerged, cutting off the airflow. This creates a vacuum that pulls 3 small steel balls to the center, instantly releasing the trigger and stopping the flow. Simple, efficient, and brilliantly effective.
Welcome back from that short break. Like we said, if you're just joining us, this is Idea Morning Digest, and it's always good to have you so we can talk about the conversation shaping Nigeria and shaping Africa. And this morning we'll be looking at top stories making rounds the continent, and we're starting here where we see that U.S. Congress worsening attacks calling Nigeria ground zero for religious violence. Experts detailed cases of kidnappings, forced conversions, and deadly assaults, urging stronger accountability and better use of U.S. security support. The briefing followed Trump's October 31 instruction for Congress to investigate the slaughter of Christians and report back to the White House. Meanwhile, Nigeria's House of Representatives is set to debate the state of the nation's security today amid escalating violence and mass abduction across several regions. And I'd just like to point out that we will be bringing you that conversation that are sovereign, that's how they're sovereign through. We can handle our own issues well. We are seeing that things are getting out of hand. And Donald Trump thinks if things are not if he doesn't step into the picture to fix the problem, then we might be risking a genocide problem. And there's been conversations around, oh, it's not genocide, it's not genocide. And then there are like data and statistics saying, okay, it's not genocide, but who are the people who get killed the most? Who are the soft targets, like Cynthia would describe it? Who are the people that are being targeted? You see that there are more churches. And in recent time, you see what's happening. It's a Catholic school, it's a church, And so what narrative? You could decide to say, oh, no, it's not religious. It's just an insecurity problem. But then when you go down to business, you'd realize that it's deeper than just a national problem. It's like some people are targeted. Like school children are targeted, like churches are targeted. And that's what the U.S. Lawmakers are saying. Come and explain to us, how is this making sense? What is really happening? What's the state of security in that nation? And so I think it's on this premise that they're having that debate, and we want to see how that session turns out. Just this morning on the newspaper review, we saw how 5 Rivers State University students were kidnapped. And still this morning, we saw 14 abducted on the road in Imo State. So what can you say about this level of insecurity? It calls for concern. And so when people argue, why is Donald Trump saying Nigeria is a country of particular concern? Well, you now have the reasons. And it's easy to sit home and say Nigeria is not a country of particular concern because you're not affected. It's not your mom that is kidnapped. It's not your brother that was killed. Just yesterday, Cynthia, somebody shared a man who escaped abduction in Kogi spoke about how it happened. Just last week, a young guy escaped abduction in Kogi. And so these are real stories. These are people who are now going to be traumatized for the rest of their lives if they do not get adequate care and help. Do you think that those people care about who comes to save them? They do not care if it's Donald Trump. They do not care if it's the devil himself coming to save them. All they want is to be saved. So you cannot you can't beat a child and tell the child how to cry. That's the situation we are in now. And so let us see what comes out of this session. Let's see how the meeting turns out. But we hope for the positive. And it's even a very interesting moment in Nigeria when we are having this debate about who is going to be the new defense minister. So let's see how things turn out, Cynthia.
I think Nigeria is truly a country of particular concern. I'm saying it from all angles at this point in time, because I mean it's very interesting what is happening now. Not from a very good way, but it's quite interesting and a bit uncomfortable for me, because when a country, I've said this before, when other countries come to sit down and deliberate about the security of a country, when they come to dissect about internal security of another nation, it shows that there are failures in so many angles, and we need to begin to take our country very seriously, because Nigeria at this point in time, we've seen the House of Representatives coming to debate. I've been watching the debate about insecurity in Nigeria today, but the honest truth is that Nigerian citizens are tired of all of these debates and whatnot. So that is why when the US come and sit down and say, let's have a meeting, let's have a Congress, let's deliberate about the security of Nigeria, I welcome such idea, because Nigerians are tired. We know our problem, and our leaders are coming to deliberate every day, coming to debate every day, coming to talk about it every day, like we don't know what is happening in the country. And we are trying to find solutions and actions every now and then. Everyday emergency sessions. That's what I call most of these meetings, because we have been battling insecurity for quite some time now. So coming now to hold emergency sessions, call emergency meetings, find resolutions, I mean, all of those things are more like reactive actions to me. And violence continues to spread. It's not ending it. According to China, to this morning, we've seen news that 25 students have been abducted in Rivers State. Five students have been abducted in Rivers State, and I've seen so many coming. Last week it was Kogi, and I mean Niger State is Kwara tomorrow. The other day it will be Benue State. So all of these things. So when the U.S. lawmakers come out to say they're calling Nigeria ground zero at this point in time when it comes to religious violence, I think it's a very heavy statement and a very valid one too. I think it's going to call. It's going to draw our leaders' attention more. Let them leave political race at this point in time. This is not without security, without proper, without safety in the country. I don't know how they want to achieve that political interest or political race they are trying to run. So the fact being said here is that this is a moment for reflection for Nigeria. This forces us to reflect and find new strategies and see how we can go about all of this, because it's really embarrassing. If I have to put it that way, it's really embarrassing that our country is being called country of particular concern first, a sovereign nation, and then next we are being referred to as a country of ground zero when it comes to religious violence. It's a lot to handle, and it's about. I think it's not about dragging if we are a sovereign nation. It's just about acknowledging the depth of the crisis and start asking questions, start seeing how we can even collaborate and partner with them and seek for support. And help our country, identify the real cause of this problem. But then we have to move to the next story. Yuletide. Okay, airfares on key domestic routes have surged by about 150%, crossing 300,000 naira as the festive travel rush, aircraft shortages, and rising operational costs hits the aviation sector. Routes to the south and southeast, including Asaba, Enugu, Owerri, Benin, Calabar, and Port Harcourt record the sharpest hikes. Lagos to Asaba airpiece fares jumped from 120,000 naira to 337,500 naira, and Abuja to Asaba is 335,500 naira. Lagos to Enugu is up to 430,700 naira. And Lagos to Anambra and Owerri is as high as 499,000 naira, 998. Aero contractors and United Nigeria Airlines list similar increases. Many short flights under 1 hour cost over 300,000 naira, forcing some passengers to consider road travel despite security fears. Operators blame aircraft scarcity and multiple taxis for the spike. I mean, first of all, there's one thing that comes with the Yuletide season is always there's this Yuletide travel, madness, because this one will affect everybody, whether we like it or not. Everybody wants to. Most times, most people, even if not everybody, wants to travel to go see their families, to go, just for the festive, for the whole holiday period. And airfares now are now crossing over 300,000 naira. Getting to 500,000 naira for just 1 hour of domestic flights. I mean, we can see Lagos to Abuja for over 430k. 430k. Lagos to Owerri is close to 500,000 naira. At this point, I just feel like the airfare is not just high; it is very unserious. Very, very unserious. It doesn't make any sense at all. I do not know what is causing it, even if they have stated that it is because of some certain things. It passed. How do they expect the I mean, it's very, very unserious. But I feel like, first of all, I don't know if it's because of, I know they have stated their claims taxes, that this is the reason, taxes and whatnot, but I feel like it's just a way of, most times when it's festive period, we have that, festive rush, fares begin to increase, you start seeing aircraft scarcity. So I just feel like they are just using a way to kind of exploit people. Yes, because I know there are multiple taxes. I know dollar rate is high. I know we are dealing with a lot, and the aviation sector too have to deal with a lot. But then the question is, I keep asking, is how sustainable is this? What are we? If you put the whole burden on the people, on your customers, what do you stand to gain, and what is the sustainability plan with it? Is it that after the festive, because after the festive season now, you see that these prices come down. So is it that taxes came down too, or the exchange rates came down too? So these are my questions, because what we are seeing now is a shift that people are choosing to go through road, and we know that roads are not really safe. I mean, some people are beginning to rethink their options of even traveling this festive period, because there's insecurity risks. There's so many insecurity risks. We can't even tie it to just banditry or ISWAP or whatnot. There's kidnappings here and there. I think some people are even using the whole insecurity issue with the banditry and abduction and whatnot to even carry out some unnecessary kidnappings and whatever from nowhere, just to extort money from people. And this tells us something about Nigeria, that Nigerians are always, calculated when it comes to survival and cost. You cannot tell them. I mean, I don't know what people tend to do at this point in time, because even the road transport is not cheap. we are talking of traveling to places like Cross River States now, places like Bayelsa is now getting to 55,000 naira as at now.
By road,
now,
right?
By road.
Okay.
And now, when it's festive period, you begin to hear, I remember last year, you begin to hear 70,000 naira. So I'm thinking, how are people going to, survive this? Nigerians have a lot to do. I just want us to understand there's something with air traveling in Nigeria. We take it as a luxury. And I guess that's why they can just come up and say, okay, we want to increase the prices of airfares, and then it will be fine by people. But then it's a very big problem. We need to understand that families in Nigeria are not earning enough. Was it the report I saw from a UK report about Nigeria, that how many Nigerian homes can boast of surviving on $2,000, is it up to $2,000 or $2 in a, is it $2? Yes, $2 in a day. So it's a whole lot for Nigeria, and we have to just do something about it, because this is not realistic at all for me. We have to do something about inclusivity. It means that people that don't have money cannot travel through, cannot fly planes again. I mean, it's a whole lot. We have to do something to support national integration. We just have to do something.
I remember that, I think it was in 2021 where we still had flights for 48,000, and I remember that it sounded really pricey. I said, why would somebody spend 48,000?
And now we are begging to even